Hi, I'm Phil from Driftworks, this is my buddy Jay, and this is the V10 M3, back from a little adventure. So yeah, it's been on a little adventure to our buddy Adam at Fabco for the exhaust. Jay and I dropped it off together.
Must be a month or so ago.
Yeah, something like that.
It's got a bit mucky on the way, mate.
Yep.
I don't know where you can really see. Hello, mate.
Hi.
Another fun project. A simple 2-day job.
2.
Yeah.
A simple 2-day job or 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there's that and that, which we landed on you last minute. But you're always game for a bit of fun, aren't you?
Yeah, just cutting some stuff up.
Yeah.
Welding it
It's not like you got real work to do or anything, is it?
No, it's actually the busiest we've been all year as well.
Oh, brilliant timing then. Just, that's what I'm all about, is perfect timing. Right, I think we're going to give this a rinse off before we put it in here, because, yeah, the lanes around here, they were pretty damn brutal. So, this is a fancy piece that I bought probably 2 years ago.
More than that.
You reckon it's more than that?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. AES, Australian made, super heavy duty exhaust dump valve basically. And this is a replacement for the QTP one that I had on this car before, which lasted, well, I won't even say lasted because it didn't. I had 3 of them on the car and broke every single one of them. So this is looking like it's going to be a little bit more durable. And we just had a quick walk around. I did frighten you a little bit, didn't I, with potentially this being a bit more complicated than you thought, but not so much.
No, yeah, I think it's a pretty straightforward one.
So essentially we're going to do a elbow out of here with some kind of flexi, I think, and a V-band. Then it's going to do the slight wiggle past the complicated bit with the manifold to engine mount to steering column there. Then it's going to come down here. It's going to have to flatten off a bit, which we've discussed, and I'm perfectly happy with just flattening 3.5-inch pipe for this small section here. It won't bring it down to like 3-inch volume or anything like that. It'll just give us the ground clearance that we need to come past here and up into here. Then it's kind of a relative... Oh, I think we should probably put a small silencer here. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
The other one did have a really small sort of resonator like in it of some kind, something to just take the edge off. And it stays 3.5-inch all the way up to here. We are going to, I love this royal way. Adam is going to modify my eyes and back box to actually have a 3.5-inch input instead of the twin pipe. Hopefully.
As long as it's not super convoluted inside,
Yeah.
It should be doable.
Which
They
it might
usually
be.
are.
Yeah.
They're usually doable.
And he wasn't that keen on the idea. He was talking about having to split it nicely, and then I reminded him that we've hacked the top off it to repack this at one point. It didn't actually need repacking, but we're trying to find out why the car had suddenly got so loud when I first owned this car years ago. And so we very crudely MIG welded the top back on this box, so no drama in just undoing that, and he'll probably end up nicer with you re-welding it anyway.
Hopefully, yeah.
And yeah, Y pipe basically for 3.5-inch into kind of twin 3.5-inch dump pipe there. And I'm going to go back to the old way of doing it because it actually worked really well. It's just a pipe here with a downturn 45-degree slash cut on the end, and it's going to dump underneath the silencer here, which might sound strange to some of you, but those of you that have seen the old videos of this car, it actually extracted perfectly. It had no drama with the fire going up or causing any problems with anything. It kind of would try and keep it in line with this exit here, underneath this exit, which was probably something I didn't mention, just so it doesn't fire at the back of the carbon fibre diffuser panel. But yeah, nothing to worry about for you, is it?
Yeah, easy job.
and Adam's been working away on it whilst not being distracted by this thing, which, by the way, actually, that's a good point. Sales pitch here, the 2-into-1 3-inch to 3.5-inch front pipe down pipes that we made for this, the custom ones. We are creating the jig, we've got the parts ordered, we have 10 of them being made, and you can go ahead and order it in the Driftworks shop right now. But back onto the main deal, Jake has been to Fabco to collect the car for me.
Right, back at Fabco to pick up this. Hello Adam.
Hi.
You've done well.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah?
Hopefully it makes
Well, I'm happy with it. Oh, it'll certainly make loud noises with that thing.
Yeah, hopefully it works. Hopefully it's the right way around.
Let's have a quick look what we've got here. So we go, what is it, all 3.5-inch?
Yeah, so the main work is actually converting this Eisenman silencer to
Course,
the
they're twin.
3.5-inch inlet. So there's quite a lot of work in that. So, I don't know if you can see, but these internal perforated pieces are completely melted. Like, they've obviously been so hot, it's just got completely distorted. So I originally cut that first piece off, which was the bit that you had cut in the past, and I could see it was starting to get a bit damaged. So I cut the rest off, which is what I'm going to need in order to get these out, to make it into a 3.5-inch in, and then I'll merge it back into a 2.5-inch. But these are completely distorted with the heat. But yeah, the plan is that cut a 3.5-inch hole in here, bend it around, and then merge it into 2.5-inch, and then back into there as normal. Seal that back up as it was, obviously grind it up, make it nice, and then I'll repack all this with Acoustafill, which we won't need the steel wool for because it's got a really high temperature rating. Yeah, and then weld it all back up and should be good. And that took me basically all day.
Brilliant.
And then yeah, it's 3.5-inch all the way.
So
got the silencer.
Is the oval? Do you do the oval, or do you get to get?
No, we get where to buy that in because
Right.
it's so ovaled.
Yeah.
It's like 2.5 inches high.
Right.
So yeah, it's not very tall, and so that basically it's so squashed that to get it to do it nice, you're better off just buying it. So yeah, we've got the vibrant oval.
Oh, it's the fancy vibrant as well,
and
is it?
with mandrel bends, which
Nice.
is really cool because I make mandrel bends, but the idea of doing oval ones it's totally
That's
foreign.
quite a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's much nicer than doing it with pie cuts,
Yeah.
and takes half the time. So.
And then adapt it back to round and
so we've got flexi on there.
Yeah.
And then that's actually bracketed onto the engine block here.
nice.
And then basically because, again, it's so heavy, the whole exhaust is so heavy that it would definitely hit the engine mount with engine movement. So basically this pipe is all fixed onto the manifold with another flexi in it. So there's two flexis.
Yeah.
But this is like a secondary piece basically onto the manifold.
Okay.
So hopefully that keeps it reliable and stops it from breaking.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I better get it in the
worries.
trailer and get it back.
Yep.
Here it is, safely back in Birmingham. It's still covered in a lot of Lincolnshire, so I'm going to give it a wash before we put it away. Or by put it away, I mean get it in the workshop.
So what does it sound like?
We don't know.
No one knows. We don't know. Adam didn't even get to fire it up to test, see whether there's any leaks. Not that you're really going to have leaks when your fabrication skills are to that standard, but yeah, nobody's heard it because we had an issue with the core on one of the custom radiators that we had made, and IceFab have very kindly taken that away and recored it, got it back to us, but that meant that we couldn't start the car without firing the remainder of the coolant everywhere. So yeah, we are just going to get this off here quickly, refit the radiator, and then we'll do the first startup with its new quiet exhaust. Shall we see? We're really hoping that it's quiet enough to see, for us to be able to hear whether there's actually an ignition issue, whether we're still a spark plug down or anything like that. That was really part of the reason why I wanted to do this now, even though the car's not actually ready to drive. having the exhaust system on it and the noise coming out the back of the car instead of the front of the car will really help us diagnose any potential running issues that we've got. So yeah, anyway, enough waffling, let's get the thing off.
Well, the plan was to put it on the ramp, but Phil's just remembered he's got an MOT in 10 minutes, so he's had to run away. So it looks pretty easy to get to. I'm going to try and fit the radiator while it's still on the trailer here, and it might even help it bleed with the front up in the air, who knows. Pretty. I better do that up. I was going to do that, but I better do that up first before I do that.
Another example of just a little bit, you know, we were going to just start that up, but then the end fell off the earth strap, so we decided to make, and then I went, well, that's not big enough to be an earth strap for the main car, so decided that we needed to make a new one, which luckily I have leftover cabling from my lowrider when I wired up my Nissan President 4-pump bad boy lowrider.
It's an excessive piece of cable.
It's a bit excessive, isn't it? Yeah. But you know, there's no question as to whether that's big enough anymore. And also, we remembered that we'd ordered the actual bracket for this, for the battery tray. So just another simple hour of faffing before we actually get to hear this thing run. But
nearly there.
Nearly there. So we've got a battery on. We unfortunately, although we have a gearbox and a clutch slave,
haven't got any brakes or brake fluids.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a boo-boo with the distribution block on the ABS there, and we're waiting for a new one, but actually we ordered it probably a month ago, and only realised about a week ago it hasn't turned up, so get back to ordering another one of those, because it's got a stripped thread in that, but that means that we can't fill the brake system and we can't fill the clutch system as a result.
It's got a leak underneath as well. I remember Adam saying we took the paint off his floor. So by the fuel filter there's also a brake fluid leak. Brilliant, mate.
I don't know if you can tell, but both Jay and I are a little bit under the weather. Our voices are a little bit
a bit broken,
out of sorts.
I don't know why, I just can't talk.
You're just squeaking a little bit, but Jay's on his way to where you going, Daytona, aren't you?
Daytona next week, can't
so
wait.
you have got to be well enough for that, but
I'll be fine.
10 days
of peace and quiet
at a race circuit. 10 days of peace and quiet, that's what he's looking forward to. But yeah, it's at a race circuit doing cool things, so that's really good. But yeah, we're just trying to get this up and running, and then actually all I need to concentrate on is getting it visually ready, because it's going to, I think it's Ultimate Stance it's called, at Telford, if you fancy popping along and having a look at the car again. But yeah, without Jay I'm probably going to have to do three trips. Yeah, you'd love to come to Telford, but you're going to have to go to Daytona instead. Bastard. Right, let's fire this up anyway. Right, I'm expecting some rattles because the back box isn't centred yet. It's not levelled. It's actually really offset at the moment. So I think...
And we've still got a bracket to do in the middle.
We've still got a bracket in the middle that needs a hanger put in on it. So that is currently resting against metal. So there could be some vibrations. I don't know what to expect.
Make sure it's not in gear. No, that's connected.
Just check that. It's quite weird. That's a real nice shift, that is.
Yeah.
It's slowly but surely becoming a real car. Procrastinating, sorry.
Go on then.
I'll just fire it up.
Get on with it.
Ready? Whoa. Battery's nearly dead, but...
Hang on. I've just remembered we haven't tightened that oxygen sensor up.
Well, you think that might be it?
No, but it's going to blow out of there, yeah. Give me a minute. Well, let's go again.
Tightened up. Got a jump pack on the battery now as well.
That sounds so different. It sounds actually really high pitched now. It's definitely got that rattle. I think it's on that the little cross member bit. We'll sort that once we get up on the ramp. But man, it sounds wild. Can you give it a bit? Yeah, I think so. Sounds wild. Yeah. So now, what's leaking? Water. Oh, nice. So yeah, maybe not put your head over that. I think we've got an airlock in the water system because that just started to climb pretty badly. We still haven't got the fans hooked up on the radiators, but yeah, I think we've just replaced that. So that rad's got a new core, and I think that yeah, it might need a little bit more bleeding than that. But yeah, that was it was idling at 2,200 RPM for some reason, which might just be because we haven't got the idle set up and we actually didn't notice that before because it was making so much noise. But yeah, it has, so the ECU has a limiter set based on oil temperature. So it was only allowing me to rev that up to 4,000 RPM there, and it sounds nuts. It sounds super high pitched.
So ring on the thermostat, how is it?
Oh, is it? Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. I think that might be my fault. I took that off last.
Wow. I'm not going to tighten it anymore. So.
I had to do those mega pipes up, so I actually took that off.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh. But it didn't do that. We'd run it since then.
No, it didn't do it last time.
That's a lot of water. But yeah, now it's red hot, so we're going to have to wait a second.
You'll get the air out.
Yeah, hopefully. So we're going to let that cool down. We'll probably get it on the ramp, and then I can have a look at the exhaust underneath. But wow, so far I'm quite optimistic that that is going to sound completely nuts. Very happy. Thank you, Adam. Hoping to just be able to slip a new O-ring in.
I hope we can get this off without undoing the radiator pipes because they're a pain.
They are. Drops the rad hose off. Gives a fighting chance of not filling up the V when we take this off. That came off slightly easier than I thought.
Is that O-ring's fallen off or cut off or something? Yeah, it's broken. So that's the problem.
There we go. So, and it looks like we should be able to get that in quite easily. But do we want to do all four while we're here?
No, that one was just broken, wasn't it?
Okay.
So
it's as I've pushed it in, so get a new one on and some silicone over it, some grease over it, and hopefully away we go. Okay, O-ring found. That's all back together, and Jay tested it. So now just going to go up on the ramp and have a look. You join me up a ladder to view this perspective because we've had to do quite a bit of work to get this to sit level and to sit equally left and right. We had to do quite a bit of work to the brackets, but my God, is it worth it? It looks superb. So I know you've already seen all of this, but I've seen it on video, but obviously this is my first time seeing this, and I am super chuffed with the work that's been done to this. This is the point where we need that bracket, so we're going to create some kind of rubber exhaust hanger there. The reason why it needs that is not just the weight, as Adam was saying, it's because it's got multiple flexes in it. So it's got a big flexi here and one on the other side of that, and actually that means that there's just quite a bit of slack to this. So a bit of what you heard yesterday was this noise. That noise, so it's going to do it again. But yeah, super happy with this. And now that we've got the new O-ring in the water system, we should be able to warm this up enough to get to, I don't know, like 5,000 RPM, something like that, before it starts to overheat, because we haven't got fans. 8,000 is 15,000 RPM.
I'll fire it up, then warm it up, and we'll see what happens.
Warm it up. What's up?
Nothing?
Yeah, we probably need some fans before we do too much more of that.
Yeah, we do.
And maybe a slight tune.
I mean, as you just saw in the video, the exhaust is hot.
Yeah, it's hot. So
And 10-cylinder hot as well, which is a bonus for us.
I mean, this is where the whole internet chimes in. Oh, your coil packs are going to go on fire and this, that and the other.
I mean, they might.
we know.
They might.
And Jay's rock covers that he's painted probably cured that paint.
Yeah, that's getting cooked on, isn't it?
But no, that is a mega success. So I kind of knew a lot of what was wrong with the sound of this was going to be down to the exhaust. But, well, you always have that little doubt in your mind as to whether you've made bad choices. But
I can't remember what it sounded like before to compare.
It sounded amazing before, to be fair. So I never expected this to be like night and day difference. The car always sounded incredible. But I think this is on load at high speed going to sound absolutely nuts. So yeah, I can't thank Adam enough for all the work that he put into the exhaust here. Obviously you can't forget about the main part of it, which is the Celeritech headers. Those are the core of everything, and sound and look absolutely superb. We're getting pretty sad because we're getting heat marks on them. So yeah, I did say that that's likely to happen, and you know, once they get sort of tainted enough, I might do like a Zerkotech coating on them.
I can't wait to try and put that back together with the coating there. I remember the Lambo.
But no, hugely successful, and I'm super chuffed. So hopefully, yeah, this is going to go relatively smoothly just to get this car to, I think it's ultimate stance that we're going to. I don't really know, but that's not up to me. So that will be there. Come and say hello. More episodes coming soon, I guess, on this, because I am quite excited. I do feel like we're kind of in the final stages of it. But what you have to bear in mind, those of you that complain at me all the time for updates on this thing, is that the last 10% of a build takes 90% of the time quite often.
I mean, we have got a lot of bits that we've got to take off again.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's lots of other stuff going on. Like I'm working on the F80 at the moment, doing the HD coilovers on that, lots of other projects. But for now, that'll probably do it. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for supporting us by buying through the Driftworks shop. Don't forget that 2-in-1 downpipe for the F80 is now live on the shop. There's a limited number for the first pre-order. So if you fancy one of those, head on over to the shop and do a buy. And if not, a fancy £1,000 exhaust, maybe just a t-shirt or a hat, whatever you like, it's all much appreciated, and all sort of trickles down into us doing dumb stuff with cars here and continuing to show you what we do on YouTube. So it's all appreciated. Yeah, thanks very much. Catch you next time.